Welcome to your PWC Connections, a monthly look at what's happening inside PWC and out in our community. We have great stories on tap for you today, so sit back and enjoy another episode of your PWC Connections. Hi, and welcome to Take One. This is our chance to highlight news, upcoming events, and important FYIs from Fayetteville PWC. I'm Courtney Lucas.
And I'm Lamont Henson. Celebrate public power. PWC is a locally owned and operated municipal utility that provides reliable, affordable, environmentally responsible electricities to our customers. PWC is one of 2,000 public power communities in the U.S. and the 35th largest in the nation. Our customers are our owners, and that makes a big difference for our priorities because we aren't driven by making money for our shareholders.
PWC has served our community proudly since 1905, and because we're local, we can restore service during outages quickly. The Energy Information Administration has said that, quote, compared to investor-owned utilities and rural electric co-ops, city-owned utility customers experienced the lowest instances of power outages in both frequency and duration, averaging one outage and about 2 hours of interrupted service, end quote. That's an impressive feat.
I would have to agree. We're going to share a lot more public power on our website, social media this month. So keep an eye out for fun facts, cool videos, plus the chance to win a $100 bill credit.
October is a busy month at PWC. In addition to celebrating public power, we also observe National Toilet Tank Repair Month, Shower Better Month, and Energy Awareness Month. Toilet Tank Repair Month reminds us all to check for leaky toilets in our homes. You'll save two precious resources, money and water.
Shower Better Month also puts emphasis on saving water. Did you know that you can purchase a quality, low-flow shower head for around $10 to $20 and achieve about 25 to 60% in savings? That adds up. Energy Awareness Month aims at promoting the importance of conserving energy. It's easy to save energy. Turn off the lights when you leave a room, stop using standby power, set your thermostat at the right temperature, and wash clothes in cold water, just to name a few. Visit us online for even more energy-saving and water-saving tips.
The holiday season is just around the corner. If you're looking forward to lighting up your home for the holidays, consider purchasing LED strand lights. They last longer, shine brighter, and cost less to operate. If you're a PWC electric customer, you can earn up to $40 in the form of a bill credit when you purchase LED strands and complete the program application. Visit our website for complete details.
Thanks for watching Take One. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Public power utilities like the Fayetteville Public Works Commission are owned by the public, and so they're not there to make a profit. They're there to do a couple of things. One is to provide the most reliable, high-quality electricity that they can provide for the lowest possible cost. Now that's on the electric side, but on the water side, we also are supposed to supply great quality water at reasonable rates, and certainly take care of that water, that wastewater that we get from the Cape Fear River here in Fayetteville, and return it to the river as clean as we got it when we took it out, or cleaner even. And so we do that also trying to keep the cost down, because if we keep the cost down, that helps our customers. And one of our customers, and major customers we have, are major employers that come. If they can get low cost, high quality electricity, they get low cost, clean, great tasting water that's handled well and returned to the river well, then they're likely to come here and hire people, and that helps all of us here because we have more people doing business here and hiring folks and giving them jobs. And it really does start from probably the best asset that the city of Fayetteville has, which is the Fayetteville Public Works Commission. Back in 2011, I got elected to the Fayetteville City Council and was made the liaison to the Fayetteville Public Works Commission. And I found it rather interesting. I thought I understood what public power was, but I really didn't. Until I got involved with the utility and then went to an American Public Power Association convention to see all of the different aspects of public power. And I think that our citizens in the community miss out on that bit of understanding of why we're here and what we're supposed to do. Reliability and quality when it comes to electric power is important. And where reliability counts is when you go home and you turn your light switch on and the light comes on. Everybody knows when the power goes off. They take for granted when the power comes on. And so it's good to be rated highly in that. And that's where I think the Fayetteville Public Works Commission has done a fantastic job. The American Public Power Association gives a rating called the Diamond Rating on reliability. It's called RP3. The Diamond Rating is the highest level that you can get. We've received the RP3 Diamond Award 4 times, and we're one of only, I think, 4 utilities in the country that's ever had that rating. You can't get more reliable than that. I remember the first APPA conference I went to and was astounded at the recognition of the Fayetteville Public Works Commission nationally. I'm not just talking about in the state of North Carolina. I'm talking about across the nation. One of the most highly rated utilities in the country is Fayetteville's PWC. I mean, and there are some large public utilities out there when you think about areas like I think in Southern California, also when you look around Phoenix, Arizona, San Antonio, Texas, these are large cities. And Fayetteville's PWC ranks right up there with them. I think that's just an awesome statement about the quality of the people that work in our utility and the type of service they bring to our community. I think one of the major benefits for public power for communities is the fact that the utility is controlled locally. A lot of these investor-owned utilities, you have no clue who's running your utility. But when you have a local public power utility, you know who the commissioners are. It's in the paper. You know they're appointed by your city council, and you know it's an asset for the city. And that is the kind of thing that makes public power so valuable. Plus, public power then also returns a significant amount of money into the economy, not just into the economy, but also back to the local government for it to be able to use for purposes to improve the quality of life for their citizens, not just in the power area.
In the United States, as well as in North Carolina, there's 3 basic types of electric providers. You have your investor-owned utilities like Duke Energy here in North Carolina. Then you have co-ops, which are rural electric cooperatives. And in our area here, we have Lumbee River and South River. And then you also have municipals. And those are entities that are owned by the citizens of a community. And PWC is the largest public power provider in North Carolina, and we supply power to roughly about 85,000 customers in Fayetteville area. When you take a look at PWC nationally, we are the 36th largest public power entity in the United States, with the largest being the city of Los Angeles with millions of customers, and actually the smallest one I believe is somewhere in Montana. I think they have 34 customers, is the smallest in the United States. When you take a look at comparing public powers rates, including PWC's, to investor-owned utilities, nationwide public power entities average about 10% less cost on a per kilowatt hour basis compared to the investor-owned utilities. Now, part of that is because we have lower overheads. We have a lot of sensitivity to reining in costs, and plus we don't make a profit. We return everything back into our system or back to our customers. When you take a look at reliability, public power entities, because we live and work in the areas in which we serve, we have a vested interest in keeping the lights on. And we also have a vested interest in keeping the water flowing and the toilets flushing. Because this is the community in which we live, and we really have a vested interest in it, and we want to provide the most reliable service that we can. Typically, public power entities outperform their investor-owned utility counterparts as far as providing reliable service across all the measures. I have to agree with Commissioner Fowler that having local control of the utility is probably the biggest advantage for public power companies, in that not only are our commissioners taking a look at the organization from a business sense, but they're also customers. So when they make decisions here, it's not only affecting the community in general, it's affecting them as customers. So when they take a look at stuff, they take a look at it both from their business sense and also from the sense of being a customer of this utility. So that gives them a very unique perspective to be able to balance low cost, and reliability. So when they make those rate decisions or they make those investment decisions, they are well thought out from both the perspective of how they, as a business leader in the area, take a look at it, as well as how will the customers view it. That's a really important part, I think, of public power, and perhaps the biggest advantage. As you know, in my career, I worked over 23 years in an investor-owned utility setting. And investor-owned utilities are also concerned about rates and reliability. But to me, the biggest difference is when I come to this commission and I ask a question of them to take a look at an investment or something, the first question that normally comes out of their mouths is, what is the impact on customers? When I worked in the investor-owned side of the house, it was, how much can we make on that? Now, they still have a vested interest in reliability and everything, but I think that perspective of putting customer first, because our customers are our owners, is a real important aspect of public power. I think the true value of PWC to this community is that we do provide a real economic engine here. And the value which we provide to this community goes beyond just providing electricity and water and other services. It's the people who volunteer. It's our employees who work in the middle of the night to restore service. It's that dedication which we have from top to bottom of this organization to make sure that we provide the best service to our customers. And that's a message that I think we need to do a better job getting out there. We're recognized nationally and statewide, but sometimes people right here in Fayetteville don't know about all the great things that we do. So hopefully this segment will help them learn a little bit about that.
Hello, my name is Lamont Henson, Communications and Community Relations Associate at PWC, and welcome to The Facts, also known as Funneling All Questions. In this segment, we will attempt to enlighten our customers as well as address some best practices for your electric, water, and/or wastewater treatment services. Today's question that we'll be funneling: is there an issue flushing baby wipes or flushable wipes down the drain? Now, this question was posed by me. I'm relatively new to the utilities industry as a communicator, but I've been a customer since adulthood. So since joining PWC, that's forced me to examine my own best practices. So here we go. So let's get a little close and personal. We're all human, and quite frankly, nature calls. And sometimes after conducting business in the bathroom, you want that little extra feeling of cleanliness. So me personally, sometimes I would use a baby wipe in addition to toilet paper and would dispose of them the same way by simply flushing it. But am I doing the right thing? Joining me to answer that question is Kelly Scholars, a PWC Water Resources Equipment Operator. Kelly, am I doing the right thing by simply flushing a baby wipe or even a flushable wipe down the toilet?
Quite frankly, in my experiences of being in PWC on water resource construction, and especially on the sewer department, we have encountered many different stoppages throughout my career here at PWC. And I know they say that a lot of wipes nowadays are very much flushable and they are septic safe, but myself, I highly recommend to not to flush wipes, because what eventually happens is, once wipes go down in the sewer lines, they'll wound up either getting caught on either a small offset joint, or it may get caught around a root, or just in general, it may not make it all the way out of the lateral into the sewer main, and it eventually builds up. And once it builds up enough to where it gets really, really heavy to where the liquids will not be able to push the solids out to the sewer main, it actually causes a stoppage, which causes a lot of problems. So for to answer your question, whether they say it's septic safe or not, I highly recommend do not flush on wipes. Just once you take a wipe and you use it, dispose of it in the trash can and set it out, and so your local sanitary waste department can pick it up and take it to the landfill.
So what about grease in the kitchen? What would you recommend for disposal of that?
Whatever you do, do not flush grease down the drain, okay? What happens is when you pour grease down the drain, the grease is hot, okay? It doesn't always make it all the way out to the sewer main, all right? What happens is once grease starts to cool off and it gets cold, it starts to gel up, okay? And it starts to become solid. And over time, by repeatedly putting grease down the drain and by it gelling up, it eventually becomes a hard substance, and that also causes a blockage. Now, what we highly recommend is, once you are done with your grease, take it and put it in something that could be thrown away in the trash. If you ask our local PWC office, we do have little small plastic containers that once you are done with your grease, you can let it cool off, pour it into the plastic container, cover it, and then just throw it in the trash and let the waste management pick it up and take it to the landfill.
Proper disposal methods can help protect our environment, our source of drinking water, as well as our own personal property. Now, as Kelly spoke about, you can dispose of your grease in these plastic containers, also known as fat trappers. They can be picked up here at the PWC Customer Service Center located at 955 Old Wilmington Road. You want to use best practices, and you want to always know and be informed. This segment has been The Facts.
Here at PWC, we use some pretty cool equipment. We have the steerable robotic camera system that's behind me. We use it to go down into the sewer lines in the street. We look for roots or broken pipe in the sewer mains or anything that may cause a blockage. We have the camera system because a lot of the lines that we inspect are too small to send people down into. They're usually an 8-inch or 12-inch, 10, 12-inch line. Once we get the camera inside the line, we then get up into the back of the vehicle, and we have a computer system that records what we're seeing, and we type all the information in, what location we're at. We have a mapping system that shows a map of the area. Also tells us what pipe material it is. If we can't tell, it shows us pipe size, and we record what the camera is seeing down in the line. It's showing us on the screen, and we record what we're seeing. So if there's a problem with the line, we can take pictures, still images of what the camera is looking at, whether it be roots or grease or broken pipe. That way we can have pictures sent to the crew going out to fix it, so they know what they're looking at, what they're going to be facing.
The best part I like about my job is actually being able to communicate with the customers effectively and letting them know the steps that PWC is trying to take to help provide better customer service. It's whether we go to an old neighborhood that the sanitary sewer lines that we televise, whether they are getting out of date and PWC wants to update them through slip lining processes, or if we locate any problems within their sewer services or within the sewer mains, being able to react to them in a very quick and efficient way, and just being able to help provide customer service. It's all about providing customer service to help PWC grow. The thing I like about the camera is pretty cool. It's kind of like a video game. Okay, we have a joystick on the inside of the camera van that actually controls the camera, that actually picks the head up and down. Whenever you're actually driving down the sewer main, if you get to a turn in the sewer main, you're actually able to take the joystick and actually shift it either left or the right. The camera turning the sewer main, it raises up and down. I mean, you'd just be amazed of what you actually see whenever we're actually televising the sewer main. And that's how it works.
Yeah, what he said.
On a daily basis, you'll see us riding around and working on what's called a bucket truck and a line truck, also known as a digger derrick. The bucket truck is what we use as a lineman to access the lines, to get up and perform our work and supply the material to what we got to do the job. The line truck, or digger derrick, is the truck that hauls the poles or hauls the heavy loaded equipment because it has more access on the back to load stuff. On the line trucks, we haul all material needed, whether it be transformers, poles, pads, cross arms, insulators, cutout switches, anything that's needed for the job. Most of the time that's our haul truck because, like I said, it has the big open space on the back And you can load a lot more material where the other truck is filled up with lockers and the boom and all that's in the way. So get material on them is a little bit more difficult. Sometimes you'll see two trucks in a neighborhood. It can be the line truck and a bucket truck working at the same time, or can be two bucket trucks working at the same time depending on the job. Those trucks work together just like we work together. The line truck is setting the pole and holding the pole up while the guys are up there working and performing their duties out of the bucket. And sometimes you'll see two bucket trucks in the air at the same time, and normally when the situation that is when something's difficult to reach on the other side, we'll set a bucket truck on one side and on the other, and you can go up there and you can kind of tag team the work where you ain't got to reach across those lines, because most of the time they are hot. And reaching across 3 phases or whatever to do our job can be a little bit more dangerous versus putting one man on one side and one on the other. Our highline crews, they can reach up to 100 feet. Other trucks can do more if need be, but on average ours is around 55 to 60. Your normal street line in the neighborhood, if it's on a fiberglass pole, if we get lucky, a lot of times we can build the light on the ground, run the wire in it already, and we can just stand the light pole up and with the line truck. And once we set it in, get it straight, tamper around it or whatever, it's good to go. It's pretty much just flipping a switch. In the instance where there's a street light pole, a lot of times you're not that lucky because you got lines going around and you actually had to set the pole naked or bare. That way you don't have something extra that could potentially hit a line that's hot or energized. And a lot of times we'll stand it up, get it set and tamped where we can work safer. The auger on the trucks, you'll find them on the line trucks. Bucket trucks don't have them. What that is if we're working, got to set a pole, and it's been located to where we know there's nothing down there to possibly hit, whether it be a gas line, communication lines, or anything already pre-existing down there. The auger makes our job a whole lot easier. It's basically a big old screw bit. And you stick it down in the ground, the truck spins it around and it digs a hole for us. That way we can just set the pole in the hole, and if we can't use it, then we had to rely on shovels. And that's how it works.
The average leaky toilet can waste about 200 gallons of water a day. That's over 6,000 gallons a month, and it's costing you money. We'll tell you how to detect and prevent leaky toilets next in Conservation Corner.
Believe it or not, the toilet is one of the biggest water wasters in your home. And here are the reasons why. It's the 3 F's. Your flapper, your float, or your fill valve. A flapper is the barrier between the bowl and the tank that keeps the water in your tank. Sometimes the flapper goes bad by age, and sometimes on the bottom of it, it gets calcium buildup or other mineral buildup on it, and it stops the flapper from seating properly. The second one is your float. Sometimes your float can be adjusted too high, and then that makes your toilet leak too by the water going into the overflow tube and running into your bowl. The third one is your fill valve. And when your fill valve goes bad, it causes water to run in your tank constantly. First, when I go into a customer's home to check to see if their toilet is leaking, the first thing I do is listen to see if water is running. But sometimes you can't hear the leak. If you can look in your bowl and you see water coming in your bowl, that's a sign of a toilet leak. Or if you can hear water running, that's another sign of a toilet leak. So then what I would proceed to do is look into the back of the toilet, the tank. The first part I would check is the flapper to make sure the flapper is seating well. And how you do that is you match down on the flapper, and if the water in the bowl stop or the sound of water coming into the tank stop, that means it's the flapper. Now, if you see water going over the overflow tube, then it's your float. Your float is adjusted too high. If you see water just coming out everywhere in your tank from your fill valve, that means you have a bad fill valve. You need to replace your fill valve. Now, if you're comfortable at home and dissecting the reason why your toilet is leaking, you can use one of these. This is a dye tablet you put in the back of the tank. And then you wait 10 to 15 minutes and see if it comes in the bowl. And if it comes in the bowl, that means your flapper, you need to replace your flapper. Now, if you don't have the dye tablets, you can use like food coloring or anything that has color that you can distinguish, if the flapper is leaking. So now when the test is done, make sure you flush your toilet so you won't stain the bowl. If you're intimidated on changing your flapper, you always can call in a professional. So if you find out you have a leak, make sure you get your leak fixed so you won't be wasting our precious resource, water, and your precious resource, money.
At the beginning of the storm, my family and I were home. It was a Saturday and we were watching TV and the power goes out. I did not see the PWC linemen working. However, I knew they were there because PWC is always responsive. Some people were without power for days. I was without power for only 6 hours, and I'm grateful for that.
Christmas morning at about 3:00 a.m., I heard a crash out front of the house. Looked out the window and there was a car had gone right through the power pole. PWC was already there. They had 3 trucks putting a new pole in and fixing all the wires and everything. And by 7 o'clock, they were gone. It was kind of amazing. I'm sure that they would much rather have been at home on Christmas morning than in front of my house. So I really appreciate their dedication.
Here at PWC Line Department, we operate 33 substations and over 1,300 miles of power lines. I'm one of the linemen responsible for making sure that the system works like it should, and the people here really appreciate the hard work that we do to keep their lights on. When the power goes out, we hit the ground running. We work really hard to get power back on as fast and safely as possible.
Here at PWC, we have 2 water treatment facilities, and we can handle more than 58 million gallons of water a day, and actually more than 10 billion gallons of water a year. We take a lot of pride in providing clean, safe water to our customers.
PWC is part of a community of over 2,000 public power providers in the United States. What does that mean for you, our customers? That means reliable service at fair rates, and we never sacrifice safety. But more importantly, we're local. That means our employees, our management team, and our commissioners are all part of this community. And we're proud to provide electric, water, and wastewater service to our over 113,000 customers in the Fayetteville-Cumberland County area.
We've got over 80 public power communities. Fayetteville is the largest public power community in North Carolina. They're one of the best operated systems in North Carolina. And as we think about, Fayetteville and some of the things that it does locally for its citizens and businesses, they're there day in and day out. They're providing low-cost, reliable power so that they're able to attract new jobs into the community. They're able to help businesses that have already decided to locate in Fayetteville to expand their businesses.
We rely on PWC as a partner because we're taking care of patients, and they have always prioritized us and helped us to make sure that we keep power and water so that we can provide the health care and take care of the patients in our community. PWC came in and helped Cape Fear Valley to do an energy audit so that we could put solutions in place that would save us energy and eventually save us money so that we could put that money back into healthcare.
I've been a customer of PWC for 48 years now, and I think PWC is an absolute crown jewel in our community. I consider PWC to be business friendly because when you need something done, and in this case like the Villaggio complex that we were building, we had certain specific needs for the Villaggio. And PWC said, yes, this is the way we can do water, yes, this is the way we can do electric, and all these things to us, to me as a business owner, was so critical.
Our focus at PWC is to provide quality utility service for our customers. And what does that mean? That means to provide our service at the lowest rates we can, but never sacrifice reliability, safety, and customer service.
I've been here at PWC for almost 6 years, and I love the connections that I've made with our customers. Just knowing that someone take that extra time out to explain to them their bill or just to have a conversation, it makes them feel good, and at the end of the conversation they thank us for actually taking that extra time or making that extra step to make them feel comfortable about their bill.
When we think of Fayetteville, when we think of Fort Bragg, We know there are businesses that support our military in a very good way, in a very meaningful way, and PWC is one of those. They are responsible community citizens. They understand the concept of volunteering. They understand, most of all, what it means to give back to the community. We need more PWCs in this community.
PWC's employees, customers, and community leaders all agree that we are part of the fabric of the Fayetteville community. We are your hometown utility, and that's not just a logo, that's how we do business and serve you. So on behalf of PWC's 600 employees and our commissioners, we say thank you for allowing us to serve you every single day.